Hey guys, it's Greg from GWA Auto Parts today. Just want to go over a few important notes on our Jeep ignition coil. We've got a lot of questions about this, so I just want to go over everything. That way you guys can have a quick, seamless installation and get your Jeep back up and running. No more misfires, no more hesitation. When you first open up the box, you'll see the card with warranty instructions, and then you'll see instructions. These instructions that are included are exactly what we're going to go over now. So when you first pull your coil out of the box, you're going to go ahead and carefully open up the bubble wrap. And if you see a spring, just like this, located in the bubble wrap, that means we need to reinstall it inside one of the ignition boots. Now, we check every one of these before we package them and ship them out. However, sometimes these springs do come loose in shipping. And they come out of the ignition coil, so you need to make sure these are placed back in the ignition coil before you install it on your Jeep. Otherwise, you will get a misfire. So if we take the ignition coil and flip it over now, I'm going to bring this in a little bit so you can see. What you're looking for is you're looking for a spring in each one of the 6 boots. And you can see there's a spring in there. There's a spring there. That one's got one. That one's got one. And if we look in this one right here, you'll see there's no spring in there. So that spring that we found in the packaging right here goes there. So if we look at this spring, there's a side that has coils that are spaced apart. That side's going to go out. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop that in just like that. And now I like taking a pencil or a pen, and we're going to take that and we're going to push down a couple times. And once we push down, you can turn it upside down and shake it, make sure there's no more that are loose, and then you can go ahead and install it into your Jeep. Just by giving it a little shake before you go out to your Jeep to install it, if there are any of the springs that are loose, they'll come out. You can push them in, make sure they're seated properly, that way they don't drop in your engine bay. Once you get this in place though, obviously our spark plugs, it's a 6-cylinder, one spark plug goes in each of the coil boots, and when you get that bolted down, the springs are never going to come loose because they sit on the bottom of the spark plugs. Now the last thing I want to go over is there's 2 different variations in the electrical connector that connects to your Jeep. If you look at this ignition coil, this is the one we sell right now. It's the most common one found on all the Jeep models. The connector points down. This is where the spark plug will go, so this points down. You would take the connector from your vehicle and plug it into there. Now there are some Jeep models that come with a coil like this one, and it's nearly identical, except if you look at this one, the ignition connector that would connect to the Jeep points upwards. Now if you do have this one on your Jeep, not to worry, our coil is designed to fit both. And we decided to go with the downward facing design just because it's more common on the Jeep and it's cleaner. If you have an upward facing one, you have an electrical connector sticking upwards. You change over to our downward facing one, the coil faces downwards, it's tucked away, it's out of sight, and it looks a little better in the engine bay. So thanks for watching today, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to send us an email and we'll help you out with anything you need.